Welcome, gentlemen. Our next candidate that we're presenting in our forum are the candidates for County Commissioner Precinct 1, Democrat Robert Hernandez and Republican Bill Kelly are the candidates. Gentlemen, please make sure you are unmuted and your video is on and I can see you both. We're going to begin with the opening statements. You each have 2 minutes for that, and we'll begin with the opening statement from Mr. Hernandez.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Hernandez, and I'm running for County Commissioner Precinct 1. As I've run 3 times before, or this is my 3rd time that I've run County Commissioner, and I am sincere about this position. I would like to be in the Commissioner's Court to be able to get things done in Precinct 1 that are needed, such as drainage. That's an important part here in Precinct 1 that needs to be looked at. Or roads, the county roads. The Commissioner's primary duty is to maintain the rural area, the rural area out in the county. So that's what I would like to do. And I guess by now you realize I'm not a perfect speaker, and I do get nervous because I'm not a politician, but I have worked for the county for 22 years and I've seen the problems that we have, and somebody needs to take the initiative to try and do them. So, anyway, this is what I'm trying to do. I've worked for the county 22 years, and after I worked there, I was a buyer for physical facilities. Then I transferred to purchasing department, to where you get to learn a lot of things and you hear a lot of things, how they do things in the Commissioner's Court, and the requests that they make from purchasing department where they spend a lot of money. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get in there and do things for our county precinct that needs to be done. I have 2 sons that were raised here in the KIII area. One of them, Rodney Hernandez, went to Tolosa Midway, and he's a sergeant of highway patrol. I've got 2 younger grandchildren that go to KIII ISD, and my oldest grandson graduated from KIII ISD, and I stopped.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Kelly, time for your opening statement.
Thank you very much. My name is Bill Kelly, and I'm the write-in candidate for County Commissioner Precinct 1. And I want to start off first by thanking the League of Women Voters for providing this forum. This is an unusual campaign in that there are almost no forums or meetings because of the COVID pandemic. I would also like to thank Robert Hernandez. During my time on the City Council, I considered Robert a friend and a ally, and it's an honor to be able to run against him here today or during this campaign season. I think that the unusual nature of what we're facing right now is, quite honestly, the reason that I am running. That we in this county and this country have never faced in our lifetimes a pandemic like this that has had such a dramatic impact on the community. To have so many businesses shut down and to have to isolate creates a crisis for so many people and a government crisis. And so I think that our top priority moving forward is to work on the economy as we come out of the pandemic, try and find relief for all those families that are suffering, to make sure that our businesses recover and that we get this community back on its feet. And I think that what is crucial is experience. And my 8 years on the City Council and 8 years on the school board gives me that experience. I've had 16 public budgets that I've had to deal with. I've run my own business for 35 years. And so I know the challenges facing the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Now we're going to go now to questions that have been submitted to or by the League of Women Voters for our candidates. And I'm going to go first to Mr. Hernandez, and you're going to get the same questions. The first question is that many citizens of Nueces County have lost their employer-provided insurance for physical and mental health care due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In your opinion, what policies can a county commissioner support to promote the health, mental welfare of his constituents?
Well, first thing I would suggest is I would work closely with the hospital district to try and develop, see how they can help us, help our constituents that are in that predicament. I realize a lot of people have lost their jobs, and our economy is not what it used to be, and the revenue coming into our county is not going to be what it used to be. So we need to work smarter, spend our money where we really need it, and do things for our constituents that need the help, especially with the mental issue, and help our sheriff with the jail problem. So that's one of the things that I would do if I was to get in there in the commissioner's court, is to try and help and alleviate very costly projects that are maybe not needed real bad, but we need to pay attention to our problem with the homeless. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly, do you want me to read the question again?
No, I think I remember the question.
Okay.
To start with, from a public standpoint, yes, working with the hospital district and to provide services for those that can't afford it is crucial. But we are going to be facing budget shortfalls and probably getting much less support from the state. So I think that the most important thing that commissioners can do is to promote the growth of the economy as we come out of this pandemic and get people employed again so that they can have their employer provided health insurance and not have to rely on public assistance. Because we are going to be having to make a lot of hard decisions. Some of them may be harsh decisions, because I would anticipate that public revenues will be down in the coming months or years. And so the best thing we can do, one, to improve public revenue is to get people working again and to allow people to be able to take care of themselves.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly, you get to go first on this question.
All right.
With the rising unemployment numbers, eviction proceedings are also on the rise due to the COVID-19 pandemic. A lack of affordable housing underlies or exacerbates many other social problems, including homelessness, substance abuse, and crime. In your view, how should Nueces County address these problems?
Interesting that you should ask this, because this was a priority for me when I was on the city council. And I promoted affordable housing. Habitat for Humanity was one of the projects that I particularly supported, but also created the model block program to help communities that were facing these challenges. The one thing that I was not able to accomplish in those 8 years was to create the environment where I could get banks to loan money in neighborhoods that were facing more challenges. And I think working with the city, I think that we can get that accomplished. There's nothing that improves a neighborhood like home ownership. And so while I do believe there's a place for affordable apartments, what I would like to do and prioritize is helping people get into their own homes. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hernandez, would you like me to read the question again?
Would you please?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
With the rising unemployment numbers, eviction proceedings are also on the rise due to the COVID-19 pandemic. A lack of affordable housing underlies or exacerbates many other social problems, including homelessness, substance abuse, and crime. In your view, how should Nueces County address this problem?
Well, we need to do just like we've been trying to get things done, and that's increase our jobs, try to bring newer jobs in so our people can apply, like the new Exxon plant that's coming in, okay? There's plenty of jobs out there. We need to encourage our people to get out there and apply for those jobs. And there's a lot of other things we can do to address our homeless problems. We need to find an area, and I've always recommended Memorial Hospital that we need to utilize that building maybe to house some of these homeless people that have mental issues instead of putting them in our jails. That's going to cost us a lot of money just to keep them there. So that's what I would suggest. And it's just that the thing's going to be, it's going to be the economy, help people get jobs, get their lives back together. Okay? Without that, homeless is a dead issue. I mean, the housing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Okay, your final question, and I'll start with you, Mr. Hernandez, since you're unmuted. From your perspective, what has been the greatest lessons of the COVID-19 pandemic as they pertain to the workings of Nueces County? Have there been some positive outcomes that we can focus on as we move into the future?
The positive outcome that I have seen is to follow our doctors and scientists, what they're asking us to do. And the most important thing to do is to wear a mask and do your distancing. Make sure that we all do that. And it's not going to clear it all up, but it's going to help us, not spread it as much. So, and I also urge for our kids that are going back to school that also to do their mask and their distancing and stay safe. And we need to practice having a good health care between ourselves and take care of our immune system. So we, especially people like myself and the elderly, we need to stay healthy and be careful. That's my only thing that I've got.
Okay. So, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Kelly, do you want me to read the question again?
Yes, please.
Okay. From your perspective, what have been the greatest lessons of the COVID-19 pandemic as they pertain to the workings of Nueces County? Have there been some positive outcomes that we can focus on as we move into the future?
One of the most valuable lessons I think that we can learn from this is the importance of saving. This I know has been taxing the government or the county resources, and so having a strong fund balance would be a huge issue. I think what we've observed is that the community has been able to come together and to follow the county commissioner's court, county judge's leadership, and address the pandemic in an appropriate way. Even the people who disagree, I think, have, by and large, worn the masks and have been concerned about other members of the community. And so, like in other crises, I think that we've learned that this community does come together and does have the capability of addressing crises in an effective way.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. I wish I had one of those stop signs for my dog. So thank you very much. We're going to conclude this session with the closing statements. And so, Mr. Kelly, we'll go with you, and you have 1 minute for your closing statement.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate the League of Women Voters providing this forum. My name is Bill Kelly, and I'm a write-in candidate, and I want to take my closing to discuss that. That's a special challenge for me. In order for you to vote for me, if you have an absentee or a mail-in ballot, you have to write in my name on the ballot to be able to vote for me. If you're voting at one of the voting booths, you have to click on write in and a keyboard will come up and you have to type in my name in order to vote for me. I know this puts an extra burden on those people that support me or are inclined to vote for me. And it makes me especially appreciative of those people that do make that effort and quite frankly can become part of history and get a write-in candidate elected. I am Bill Kelly, and I would appreciate your support in this election. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hernandez, your closing statement?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I would like to apologize for my shaky voice, but that's how I get. I've been, this is my third attempt, and I've tried to correct it, but I just can't. That's just the way I do things. I mean, it happens. So my name is Robert Hernandez, and I would like your vote for County Commissioner Precinct 1. I retired from Nueces County after 22 years. During those 22 years, you get to learn how the county works. Back in '68, I worked there at the old courthouse under the direction of Carl Blumser, our commissioner, and Noah Kennedy, or was a county judge. So I've always liked county government, and I want to get in there and do the best I can to help our county employees alleviate their pay raise, get a better pay raise. Again, I apologize for my voice, for shaking, but there's nothing I can do about that. It just happens. But my intentions are good to do for the county, and I'll stop now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both very much for giving of your time and your energy to help us inform voters for the upcoming election. And we wish you luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.